Earthchanges TV Radio Hour. Mitch Batras here. Welcome on this Tuesday night. This is August the 19th, a few days post blackout. And, of course, quite a bit of news. I'm going to race through this so we can get to my guest, Xen Lungold, who is an expert on the Mayan calendar. And I'm fascinated and excited to get to him because not only are we going to speak about the Mayan calendar, but more on a personal level on how it affects you and me emotionally. Of course, we're going to speak a little bit about prophecy and how it's going to affect the Earth, of course, Earthchanges. But as importantly, perhaps even more importantly, is how it affects you and me emotionally. So here, Xen Lungold. Xen Lungold is a leading researcher of the Mayan calendar and of the Maya culture and their calendar systems. He is also a contributing author, artist, speaker, and the developer of the Mayan calendar conversion codex. Mayan, good to have you on again.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me back.
I hate to bring you on such a down note, if you want to call it a down note, but my gosh, I have a feeling we're going to be hearing or seeing or experiencing more of this. What are your thoughts just with the monologue alone?
Well, in the previous shows, we've been talking about the Mayan calendar and its general predictions of what kind of consciousness we're going to be encountering. Now, I haven't had the rosiest message to lay out to people. What we have to go through is seeing the actual situation that consciousness exists in. That's what the period of the Mayan calendar that we're in is facing the raw truth.
Oh my gosh! Now, Xen, we have some new listeners who may have not heard you on our last 2 or 3 shows.
Okay.
So, if we could, let's just build just a brief foundation, perhaps picking up where we left off in our last interview of this period we're in. Perhaps you could, if this works smoothly for you, utilize the Mayan calendar and maybe explain the period that we're in.
Okay.
Of why we might see this type of thing coming forward.
Well, I'll break through this as quickly as I can.
All right.
There's many things that we have to discuss about our immediate future.
Absolutely.
But the Mayan calendar actually shows the schedule of the evolution of consciousness over the last 16.4 billion years. And the Mayan calendar is built in 9 different levels of consciousness development. Each one of those 9 levels is divided equally into 13 sections. So on each level of creation, there are 7 periods of light and 6 periods of darkness that make up a whole cycle of creation. We're fairly familiar with that mythology from our own Christian Bible.
Yes.
7 days to creation. The Babylonians had it, and the Mesopotamians had it much straighter. They actually wrote on clay tablets that there are 7 days and 6 nights to each level of creation. That was the most sacred writings. And the Maya were people who picked up on this information one way or another centuries later. They, too, understood that there were 7 days and 6 nights to each level of creation, but they went much further with developing an understanding of what the intent of each one of those sections were. These patterns repeat all 13 stages in each level. Each level, though, proceeds at 20 times faster than the level before it.
Okay, folks, you know, I know this is hard to follow. It always is. One way that I've learned to to understand the Mayan calendar is by two ways. One is sometimes I just let I just let in every fifth word or so and kind of scoot along that way, because I get so bogged down wanting to understand each letter. Another way is this show is being recorded, and we're going to have it free on our front page website. And Ian, I'll be passing this along to Ian. He'll have it on his site as well, and you can listen to it as many times as you need to understand it. So Ian, let's go ahead and jump ahead just a bit.
Now, this is the basic structure of this calendar. Is a repeating pattern of intentions in creation that occur closer and closer and closer together each time. We've gone up, and now we're in the 8th level of the calendar. There are 9 levels altogether. We are in the 8th repeat of this pattern. And like I said, there are 7 days and 6 nights to each pattern. And right now, we're sitting in the 3rd day of this particular run-through. The 3rd day is all about, and every cycle previous to this one, and including this one, is the truth coming forward, unmitigated, unstoppable, the truth of your actual situation.
Okay, now let me highlight that for myself and perhaps some of our listeners. And I can say this, folks, because I speak to Ian as often as I can. What he's saying is that things that we may have been able to hide before, when we've been able to be disingenuous, when we've been able to play politics, when we've been able to play the game, when we've been able to play the corporate structure, company man routine, those days are coming to an end. That even if we want to try and hide, that the universe may not let us. Now, Ian, pick it up from there.
You're absolutely right, Mitch. That's exactly what it comes down to on a personal basis, is that every person is going to be faced with their own truth. But first, we're being faced with the truth of the larger world around us. The truth is that we are not in control of our own destinies.
I know, boy, I can see people standing straight up with that statement.
The truth is that most people in America are wage slaves. They are slaves indentured to corporate entities, and there is no freedom there. But that is the truth, and people are coming up hard against it everywhere.
Yes. Yes, I believe we are. We're basically waking up. Now, Ian, does this tie in to what the Mayan calendar, Mayan prophecy says about our intuition increasing, our intuitive nature?
Yes, but if you look at human nature, humans have only adapted or changed when it was absolutely necessary.
That's true. That's true.
We have not ever, up until this point, we haven't really taken a proactive step in our own evolution. We've been prodded and pried and steamrollered into changing. There have been mass eliminations of what didn't work, and what did work flourished and carried us all forward.
Yes.
This has all been pretty much, up until this point, unconscious. It has not been embraced by our consciousness. Not until this schedule was discovered did we actually have the opportunity to embrace that happening.
How was it discovered?
Well, actually, it was a combination of first, I was doing my own research on the Mayan calendar through artwork and through an intuitive, and through shamanism and studying with the shamans. And I met another gentleman by the name of Dr. Carl Jahan Kalaman, who was a microbiologist, and he'd been studying the Mayan calendar with scientific